All right. So what you're going to do, grab a paper, is that let's read the directions here. You need to grab a calculator. We're going to first go into degrees. So please go second plus 712. Let's always just clear our calculator. Second plus 712. If I'm saying that too fast for any of you, you're going to hit the second key, the plus sign, a 7, 1, and 2. And then it's going to say RAM cleared. Now to get started on this problem, I can see that the hint was we need to be in the mode that's in degrees, and we're going to achieve one answer for each problem. So please find mode, and please use the arrows to go down and across to degrees, and press enter. Once you've done that, you're going to hit clear. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to find one answer that satisfies this. Another word for arc sine, please write this underneath this. Please write another word is inverse sine. Inverse sine is another way to write arc sine. Inverse sine is another way to write arc sine. The reason I tell you that is that when we use the calculator, there's no button that says arc sine. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the blue key and hit the button that says sine. And we can see that now this looks just like what I have. I'm going to type in negative 0.3420, and now I'm going to round to the nearest degrees. So this is approximately negative 20. This is in terms of degrees. It is important to put that degree symbol. Everything is on the calculator today. As I shared with you earlier, you must have a calculator in front of you. Next up, again, we do not have an arc sine key specifically. It's the same as the inverse sine. So please hit second. Can you shut off one of the lights for me, or both of them for me, please? Thank you. Second sign, and make sure we're not talking as I go over this, as this is very difficult stuff today. And we're going to round to the nearest degree. That is approximately 50 degrees. You have right now 15 seconds to only do the next problem. And we're going to round to negative 70 degrees. Negative 70 degrees. Now that's important that we include that negative sign. That's going to come up to later. I've already gone over this. Ask somebody else in your group. For those that showed up to class early, can I have a thumbs up or thumbs down if you're understanding how to achieve it right now on a calculator? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, the only difference between 1, 2, and 3 in this first example, and the remaining is now instead of working with an arc sine, I'm working with arc cosine. So underneath the first one, let's write down cosine, and the x one is a negative 1. This means the inverse cosine of negative 0.0348. So on my calculator, again, I'm going to hit the blue key, and I'm going to hit cosine. And by doing so, I have the inverse cosine of negative 0.0348. I'm going to round to the nearest degree, which is 92 degrees. You have 20 seconds to do the next two.
What did you get for cosine?
Got them all down here for you.
15, right?
15. Rounding it to the nearest degree, please. Using your answers from the previous example, find two values, it's in degrees, and notice that's between 0 to 360. There's no negatives, okay? So keep that in mind. That satisfied the given equation. Again, we need to be in degrees, which we should already be, and we're going to have two answers. So the first thing is, if you struggled, please hit mode and make sure you are in degrees. Without that, you will not be able to achieve the correct answer. All right, so we already know that when we take the inverse sine of this value, which matches this, we get a negative 20. So right here underneath, I want you to write negative 20 degrees. And then I'm going to choose to cross that out. And here's the reason why. It does not satisfy the two values that need to land between 0 to 360. This is a negative number. I need positives between 0 all the way up to 360, but not including it. So everybody please make, for me, a Cartesian plane. That just means your XY axis. When you see a negative degrees, do you rotate up or down? A little bit louder. What is it?
Down.
Down. Okay, awesome. So I want you to rotate down about 20 degrees and make a line and write 20 right here. We rotated down, so there's negative 20. Here's the next thing. I'm going to write this down. All-star trig class. And I'm going to ask you, if you took a picture yesterday, when I put up on the board and it said sine, cosine, tangent, positive, and then over here it said sine positive, cosine negative, and tangent negative. If you have that on your phone, take that out. If you have it in your notes, take it out. Okay, absolutely no talking. This is intense learning. You ready? Tell me what other quadrant, 1, 2, or 3, do I find a negative sign value? Turn to somebody in your group. What other quadrant, 1, 2, or 3, do I find a negative sign value? Hands up high when you know. Okay, what is it, guys? 3. Awesome. Okay. For those that are in construction, you are thinking, or even if you're not in construction, if you're a visual learner, you are always at the x-axis and you either rotate up or down. It doesn't matter which side of the x-axis you're on, to the left or the right of the y-axis, you always rotate up or down. So everybody just told me 3. You said in this quadrant, we know that we have sign values that are negative. And you're like, why does it matter? Because the sign value must be negative, and I'm finding 2 answers, 2 values. So this is 1, and I'm going to figure out what that is in just a little bit. So from the x-axis, I'm going to rotate down into quadrant 3, and I need to figure out, so I'm rotating down 20 degrees. I need to figure out what goes in those boxes. And the value that goes in those boxes will be between 0 to 360. So here's the first one. All right, you ready, Sergio? I'm going to throw you on the spot. You're a good critical thinker. You ready, Sergio? Grab your calculator. Can you see the board from what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to speak to Sergio, but you're going to use your calculator or your mind. And if you start here and you rotate here and then you do another 20, what would you be at? Feel free to use your calculator. So in terms of degrees, you start here at 0, and you're like, derp, and then here.
In terms of degrees?
Yep. Can I give you a hint?
240.
No, good guess though. Okay, can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
Sergio, what is just a half rotation on the unit circle?
180.
180. Now add 20 to that. What'd you say?
200.
Just 200. Because 180 plus 180 plus 20 is 200, right? That's one answer. Okay, everybody circle that. That's one answer. Done. And now I'm going to come over here. Everybody grab your calculator. Millie, you're at 360. You're at this value, right? You're at 360. And then you have to drop back 20. So if you're at 360 and you drop down 20, Millie, what would you be at? 340. And you're like, Miss Bradley, I don't know if I did that right. Okay, everybody grab your calculator, please. And there's a way for us to see, did we correctly satisfy this equation? So everybody type in sine of 200, press enter. I should get approximately this. Then type sine of 340, and again, I got it. I did this correctly. I'm going to give myself a star. Okay, turn to your front side. What do we get for an answer here? A little bit louder. What do we get for an answer here? Was it positive or negative 50? That matters. It was positive 50. Okay, positive 50. Now, the reason why I'm not crossing it out, because I crossed it out up here, the reason I crossed it out is like, hey, negative 20 can't be an answer, is because negative 20 wasn't in this range. But 50 is. So can everybody please make a graph? Alex, if I asked you to graph positive 50 degrees, would you go up or down for positive 50? Up. So everybody go up approximately 50. Go up like right here and give yourself a box. right 50 degrees. I feel good about that. You're like, Miss Bradley, how do you know you feel good about that? Because 50 is between 0 to 360. Done. I've got one answer. Okay, signs. Turn to people in your group, and you have 10 seconds. You may look at a phone if you need to. Where are the signs positive? I know they're positive in quadrant 1. What other place? Turn to your group. Let's go. What other quadrant? 2, 3, or 4? 2, 3, or 4. Could I find sign values that are positive? 2. It's 2. And you're like, Miss Bradley, how do you know that? All-star trig class. Signs are positive here. So, like I told you in the previous problem, think of this right now like we have a nail right here, and we can either rotate up or down from the x-axis, either way. So I need to get, I'm right here right now, and I need to get up to the second quadrant. So I'm going to rotate up this distance, which is 50. So rotate up 50. And whatever I get here is going to be my second answer. Johanna, do you know how to achieve this box? We know this whole thing, half of a cycle is 180, but I need to rotate back up to get to that position. Do you know how to, you can use a calculator. Do you know how to get that? I'm going to call on somebody else to see if they agree or disagree with her answer.
Would it be 130?
I don't know. Leo, what do you think? Do you want me to repeat it? Okay, Leo, I want to know what value goes into this box. I know a half of a cycle is 180, and I need to rotate back 50. Okay, let's check and see if they're right. Everybody grab your calculators. You ready? Grab your calculators. We're going to type in sine of 130. Okay, we got that. We're going to type in sine of 50. Okay, we've got that again. Please do not be on your phone unless you're looking at that table. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. What did we achieve on the front side for this? What is it? Negative 70? Thank you. Ellen, do I keep the negative 70 or do I cross it out? You can say if you don't know. It's all right. Do you know why? Because it's negative. Can my answers be negative, guys?
No.
So anything that's negative, we cross out. Okay, make yourself a table. Orlando P, if you see a negative 70, which way do I go? Up or down? Down. So everybody go down 70. And I'm going to write negative 70 and make a box. Now, if I want to achieve this answer, I'm taking on my calculator 360 minus 70. Please do that. Take 360 and subtract 70. What do you end up with? 290. Okay, now in your groups, the sign was negative. Talk in your groups. What other quadrant, 1, 2, or 3? Don't tell me, tell people in your groups, and then raise up your fingers. 1, 2, or 3. What other quadrant gives you a negative sign? Okay, what is it, Joe? 3. So ready? Here's what we have. We're on the x-axis, and I'm going to rotate into 3. Now, how far am I going to rotate? This number. I'm going to take 70 and rotate it right here. So this whole thing to get there is 180. It's half of a cycle. But then I have to add 70 to it. So on your calculator, please take 360 plus 70 and tell me what, take 180, excuse me, it's half of a cycle. Take 180 plus 70, what do you end up with? Okay, you ready? Raise your hand if I said this is a quiz. How can I prove that these two are correct? Raise your hand if you know how using a calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, grab your calculator. Here's how you prove it. I type in the function, which happens to be sine, and I try 250. If I get this value, and it will be rounded, I'm good. Let's try the second one. 290, I get it again, I'm good.
How do you type it again?
Sure. You're going to type in just the function. So see, I find the sine key. And then I type in 250. And I got it. I got it. And then I typed in 290. And I got it again.
So sine 290, right?
Yep. And if you're not getting that, it means you're not in degrees. Did you achieve it? Are you in degrees?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, we're going to go sine. I'll just do it right here. Sine of 250. Yep, you've got it. And then sine of 290. You got it again. You just proved you got it right. Okay, you ready? Go back to the front side. What do we have here? Anybody? 92. Kevin, explain. Do I cross out 92? Yes or no?
No.
No. Why?
Positive.
It's positive. It's between 0 and 360. Nice job. Okay, everybody make yourself a little graph. Okay, so I know, and you're welcome to look here, I know that this is 90. So this is just like a slightly past. It's like right there. Okay, I have a cosine that is negative. A cosine that's negative. Now, we got to talk here really quickly. This is 90, and it's just like 2 degrees past. What is this? Grab a calculator. If this is 92 from here to here, how much is remaining? You're going to take, and you're going to take 180 and subtract 92.
172.
We'll take 180 and subtract 92. 88.
88.
Take 180, because it's the x-axis, and subtract. Yep. Okay, so 88. So this is 88. Now, ready using your fingers. So we are either quadrants 1, 3, or 4. So 1, 3, or 4. What other quadrant is the cosine negative? 1, 3, or 4? Where are the cosines negative? 1, 3, or 4? There is another quadrant.
4. No. No.
Okay? All-star trig class. So cosines are going to be always positive in quadrant 1 and positive in quadrant 4. That means 2 and 3 is where they're negative. So this distance that I have to rotate back to the x-axis, I also need to rotate that down. So from 180, I need to add 88. Please take 180 and add 88.
168.
Do you guys agree with him?
268.
268? Okay, this is what I believe the answers. That's a degree symbol. This is what I believe the answers are. 92. Why did I get to keep that? Because it's in the positive in this range. And 268. So let's check. We have cosine of 92. Great. And cosine of 268. And it both works. Okay, are you ready? Within your groups right now, this is a group 1. You have, this is the problem. I need 2 values between 0, including 0, all the way up to 360, but not including it, that satisfy this math statement. Ready, get set, and begin. So I'm keeping 15. I can see I previously had 15. So I'm going to go up 15. This is perfect. This is a distance of 15. Now you're looking at your phone, or you're looking what you copied into your notes yesterday, and you're asking yourself, where are cosines positive? I know they're positive in quadrant 1. What other quadrant are they positive in? Please just shout it out. It is quadrant 4. That means in this quadrant, from the x-axis, I'm going to drop down that same degree, which is 15 degrees. These are going to be my 2 answers, 15 degrees, and now take 360 and subtract 15. 360 subtract 15 is what? Okay, how can you share if you did this right? If I said this was a quiz and you either get a 0 or 100 to prove, how do you prove? Turn to people in your group. How do you prove? Cosine of 15. Boom. Cosine of 345. Again, it works. Complete the last equation here from example number 2. So I look at the front side, and I can see I'm at 175 here. And so I know that 175 is almost a half cycle. It's just a little bit before then. Please pay close attention. Because 175 is between 0, includes 0 all the way up to 360, I get to keep that. That's one of the 2 answers. But now I always have to judge what is this distance back to the x-axis. So to get back to 180, it's 5 degrees. What other quadrant has a negative cosine? 1, 3, or 4? 3. So in quadrant 3, I'm going to rotate down 5 degrees. So that means I'm going to go 180 plus an additional 5. to get 185. Now, did I do it right? Let's check.
I knew it.
Cosine of 175. Good. Stop it back there. It's like playing with freshmen. And we have cosine of 185. 75 and 85 achieve the same answer.